Welcome to Charleston, West Virginia for the Toyota Governor's Cup. I'm your host, David Nisley, and we've reached the last stop on the 2010 IJSBA Pro Watercross Tour. This is a double points paying weekend, so we expect to see a shakeup in the final standings. Arminio-IJSBA and Rob Flores currently hold double-digit points leads in the two pro classes. However, as Rob found out last year, no lead is safe in the chase for the national championship. We'll find out what happens coming up next here on the Beach Sports Network. Overall results are determined by adding the finishing positions from each of the three motos together. The rider with the lowest sum will receive the higher ranking. In case of a tie, the rider with the better finish in the final moto will get the win. We kick off the final weekend of racing here in Charleston, West Virginia with our Pro-Am Runabout Open class. And Arminio-IJSBA right there on our number 4 boat. That Judge Motorsports Jet Pilot HydroTurf number 4 goes off the front and takes an early lead here. Now this is a horsepower track for these guys down that front straightaway. However, a lot of turns out here as the track is set up for a national caliber championship race here. This is the final stop on the IJSBA Pro Watercross Tour. And you can see out front, the number 4, our points leader all season long, Arminio-IJSBA, getting off the front and getting into that clean water as he takes that back right marker and heads toward the front on the inside split. However, second position, the outlaw Eric Lagopoulos goes to the inside split and takes over that number 2 spot from the big white boat of Troy Snyder. So Snyder goes to the outside, not as quick through that portion of the course, and he hands over the second spot to Eric the outlaw Lagopoulos. Looks like Snyder now in that big number 1 white boat being pressured by the National Guard number 21 of Trey Frame. Frame right up in there beside him. They run down that far left side of the course, and Frame closing hard on Snyder. Oh, Snyder makes a mistake, misses a buoy there, has to correct and allows the 21 of Trey Frame to get to the outside and pick up that 3rd position overall. We rejoin our leader, the number 4 of Arminio-IJSBA, as he makes that inside marker and goes back to the far right. He's got pressure from the number 11 of Eric the Outlaw Lagopoulos. Now Lagopoulos told us earlier in the pits he wanted a tight course so he could put that Sea-Doo hull to good use. He thought it turned better than the big boats out here on the Kanawha River, and he appears to be correct. However, he goes to the outside split this time, and you can see the white flag flying there. He lost a lot of ground going to that outside split. Another look at our leader on that Judge Motorsports Jet Pilot Spy number 4 Kawasaki. That's Arminio-IJSBA off the front, comfortably in the lead. 3rd position, Trey Frame on that National Guard power number 21, trying to collect Eric the Outlaw Lagopoulos, but I think he's going to run out of real estate. Final couple of turns for your leader there. Looks like IJSBA is going to take moto number 1 here at the Toyota Governor's Cup. Ski GP, moto number 1 away from the line. You see the 580 of Carmine Colangelo standing up first, right in the center there. Outside is Chris McCluggage, and to the inside, looking over his left shoulder, that is the 300 of Jimmy Eats World Wilson on that Hurricane Performance ride. Making that right-hand marker, looks like he's going to make it stick. He holds off the greatest of all time, so McCluggage forced in behind the young gun, the number 300 of Jimmy Eats World Wilson. McCluggage on that Monster Energy Mac Racing Yamaha tucked in behind the Hurricane Racing rider on that number 300 boat. We make the transition down that front straightaway. Outside went Jimmy Eats World Wilson. Inside went McCluggage. So McCluggage closes up some ground. He's right in there behind the Hurricane Racing rider. You see that blue boat, the Yamaha, that Quakey Sense Monster Energy Mac Racing ride, the number 30 of Chris McCluggage. Behind him, there's the 912 of Rick Shirker and the 88 of Rob Flores. So Flores and Shirker with bad starts shuffled back, well back in the pack here. Chris McCluggage continues to press the Concord, North Carolina native on that Hurricane Racing Jet Tribe number 300. Jimmy Wilson, he's got the goat in his back pocket, tracking him down. Looks like McCluggage going to the inside. Outside goes Jimmy Wilson. Wilson gets to the far right marker. McCluggage turning right and getting right next to him here. It's a drag race to that finish line marker. McCluggage across the front with a classic block pass and picks off the youngster on the 300. So the veteran wisely goes to the inside, picks the faster line, and now he takes off down that front straightaway on that Monster Energy Mac Racing Yamaha. Flores still trying to claw his way up into that 4th position, goes around that left marker and goes down, so he takes a little water sample there. The 88 of Rob Flores in the surf. He does get the ship righted and headed back out in the right direction, but boy, tough riding right now for the 88 of Rob Flores. Another look at McCluggage as he charges down that start straight away on that 30 boat. Second position is the 300 of Jimmy Eats World Wilson. Wilson all by himself there in second. He looks over his shoulder, realizes there's no one with him. He'll take his time around those markers. But probably the happiest guy out there right now, the 912 of Rick Shirker on that slippery full spectrum scat track ride. He's running second in national points. He knows if he can stay in front of Rob Flores, he's going to gain some valuable ground. Flores looks over, sees one lap to go. Coming down through these final couple of turns, looks like the number 30 of Chris McCluggage. He's going to get to the checkers first and take home moto number 1 here at the Toyota Governor's Cup. We'll be back with more from the Toyota Governor's Cup here in Charleston, West Virginia.
Your life is always on. On target, on task, on top of your game. You can't afford to be off. End your night with a Rebootizer, the all-natural detox shaker to help rid your body of harmful toxins that slow you down, so you can carry on. Rebootizer, great night, great morning.
Well, we got a minivan for the kids.
Right.
But we got a Sienna to match how awesome we are. I like to call it the swagger wagon. Yeah, we came up with that.
Swagger. It's actually a lot like our family. Stylish and modern, super good looking.
You know, sometimes when we roll up in our swagger wagon and people see our style, I don't want to say that they get jealous.
Yeah, you do.
Yes, I do.
Meet the family and the new Sienna on YouTube. Toyota.
This is the Beach Sports Network, brought to you by Welcome back to the Toyota Governor's Cup here on Magic Island in Charleston, West Virginia. This is the Extreme Summary, brought to you by Millstone Graphics.
I'll be competing next year. Unfortunately, this year I will not be able to make the World Championships. I'm going to go home and get myself a wrist surgery. I broke my wrist back early in the season, and I think I can get my wrist taken care of, let my broken thumb heal, and get ready for some snowboarding action.
Johnny, congratulations on the second place deal. What do you think it's going to take to raise your level a little bit and get past Jeremy?
Lots of practice, lots of time behind the boat, and just ride and try to see if we come up with something new. I mean, Jeremy came up with that pinwheel, and let's see if maybe I can come up with something like my own thing.
I did have a new trick I came out with today. It's not totally new, I guess, but it was something I've never seen before. Calling it the pinwheel. It's a little bit chaotic. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on. There's a lot of things flipping and spinning. And best of all, I haven't knocked myself out yet doing it.
All right, how about that for Jeremy Parr, the 2010 IJSBA National Freestyle Champion.
This week's Tech Tip is brought to you by Jet Tribe.
Hi, I'm Bill Hurricane Haig with this week's Jet Tribe Tech Tip. With me this week is one of the nation's best pro freestylers,
Jeremy Parr.
So Jeremy, we're looking at one of the pro freestyle boats. This thing is really sweet. So what do we got going on?
What you see here is pretty much all aftermarket. Aftermarket gas tank, cylinders, exhaust, carbs, ignition, everything in here is aftermarket. We're all about making the skis lightweight. The lighter the ski is, the higher you can get out into the air.
That's excellent. So when we go from this and transfer over, let's take a look at what we've got in a closed course boat. Dramatic difference.
Big time difference.
As you said, much bigger gas tank. We've got 5 gallons in here to run long motos, and we fit as much motor as we can in there. So acceleration and speed's a lot different too.
We're topping out probably around 45 miles an hour, but we're getting there ASAP.
Okay, yeah, and this, we're doing that 65 mile an hour, get that top end out of it. So as we look at the back of the ski, major differences between what we see on the closed course boat. We got footholds.
Yep, footholds, they get your feet locked in. keep you connected to the ski when you're in the air doing barrel rolls or backflips, flares, any of the things like that. Don't want your feet coming out of the ski because that'll get you hurt.
Your nozzle works different than what we do as well.
We have an up trim nozzle. Pull the nozzle up. That helps you make setup waves, helps you do backflips. We also have our steering set up as fast as we can get it so that we get the maximum turning. We want our boats to spin as quick as we can get them to spin.
So here we are looking at the back of a closed course boat. Nice smooth sides.
Yep, rule book says no footholds for you guys.
Yeah, something about broken ankles. So also we have this kicktail we put in. Under the acceleration coming off the starts, you hook your foot in there, it makes for a nice, comfortable pad. You know where the back of the ski is. Also, we have a different nozzle. Yeah, as we come off the line, these things want to jump out of the water, so you pull the lever, holds the nose down. Slight differences, but we're all having a good time. But Jeremy, thank you very much for taking us through the freestyle.
Glad to be here.
Appreciate it.
We'll be back after these messages from the Toyota Governor's Cup.
Thanks for checking out the racing. For more information, contact UWPinc.com.
The freedom of the open water. There are no signs to tell you where to go, or crosswalks to slow you down, which might mean having to stop at a moment's notice. Sea-Doo is the world's first and only boat with a brake for a whole new level of safety. And with 88% purchased a decade ago still out there today, you'll enjoy the thrills for years to come. Sea-Doo.
Welcome to Charleston, home of the state capital of West Virginia. This city is rich in history and culture. Charleston is nestled in the mountains, but yet has all the benefits of a cutting-edge metropolis. Because of this, Charleston, West Virginia is a perfect location for hosting sporting events, conventions, as well as church and corporate retreats. So when you're planning your next event and you need a dynamic city that is as fun as it is beautiful, think Charleston, West Virginia.